Very nice long So chance could have been anybody else. So it looks like chance. All right, let's see if we can figure out it's still not any better. All right, at least we have video. Check. Check. How am I getting? So I'm going here. Chance on its own. Check 1, 2. Let's hope that might have fixed the issue with the reverb. Jeremiah up at the table now. He's down 2-0. He needs to try and make a move here in the next rack, or might see Chance kind of starting to walk away with this one. The balls are pretty spread. He does have a chance to make... Okay, looks like we're back working audio again. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Excuse me. Jeremiah overcutting the 3-ball, not leaving Chance the best shot, especially to try and get out of the pocket. Let's see what Chance decides to do. He's got 2 shots here. Both of them are fairly valid. I think one kind of lends itself to better shape. Chance powers through that one. Jeremiah jumping out of his stool as quick as he can. Taking a look and see where the 4-ball is. I think he's just going to have to roll forward just a little bit, try and leave himself a cut on the 4-ball to at least get a chance at making it, unless he wants to try and create an angle. He does do a slow roll forward, gets himself a decent little shape shot on the 4-ball, which come back down the table for the 5, probably in this side pocket. We're here at Jerry O's in Las Cruces on Loman, part of the Olhausen family. Speaking of the Olhausen family, we'd like to thank all of the Olhausen personnel that work here, from Adrian, who does pool tables, to Kevin, who runs a lot of the pool table stuff out here, and Sharon, of course, the owner of Olhausen here. Great shot there by Jeremiah. Coming up a little short on the 5-ball, but it is still makeable. XLR8 tournaments, you know, we're proud to be here, stationed out of Las Cruces. We do a lot of tournaments in different areas. These two are actually practicing for a tournament in Phoenix, where they're going up to play one of Tim Daniels' tournaments. Next weekend, they're going to be going up with Felix. There's a good shot right there by Jeremiah. And it looks like everything's kind of fallen into place as far as the computer now as well, which is good. There are a couple tables still open if you guys want to come on out here. They also have, I believe, the only snooker table here in town. Jeremiah going to dig on the 6 ball going into the side pocket. Goes into the jaw of the pocket on the side. That would have probably been the out because he would have been able to roll forward on the 7, 8, and 9 kind of a road map out. Let's see what Chance decides to do with the 6 ball. It's all pocket speed right there. Rolls really far past. Does not leave himself in a good position. Speed control, speed control. Chance is going to go for the side pocket, making a beautiful side pocket shot. Cue ball should kind of bounce out enough for him to make another good shot. Now his choices are either to go forward, which is what it looks like he was kind of setting up for. He's going to go down into the bottom left pocket. He doesn't make the shot. Jeremiah moving the magic rack out of the way, which is a smart move, because if you happen to hit the magic rack while it's on the table like that with a ball in play, it is actually a foul, ball in hand, for your opponent. Jeremiah lining up on the bank shot. He's going to try and put it in the side pocket. He could do that, or he could try to play the safety, leaving a really long shot. He is down, nice and soft, and comes up short on the angle. So both these guys are young upstarts coming in. They've both started really heavily shooting here in the last year. They're both trying to grow their Fargo, get better at the game, get better at their speed shots. Yeah, it's a 8.5 foot shot here from Chance. Just needs to take his time, roll the ball in. Looks like a good strike, and Chance is now up 3-0. Jeremiah needs to start getting in the groove, start making some moves here, because you know, when you look at the score, sometimes it also helps to set up your attitude on how you shoot. I know I never like to be down more than 2 in a short race, and more than 3 in a long race. Definitely makes a big difference on how you shoot and the balls you decide to shoot at, and which balls you decide to try and play a little bit safer on. And it also puts that added stress on yourself, which, I mean, 100%, you know, when you're playing something like this and you don't want to add more stress to yourself when you're shooting. But like I said, these guys are trying to stress test themselves and get better so that when they get to Phoenix, they're, you know, at some of their peak performance. Chance looks to be moving his break shot just a little bit from where he was at last time. Solid slug into the rack, but doesn't look like anything's going to drop. I don't think he's getting the full power that he's wanting to. He wasn't quite on. He wasn't quite on the rack fully. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you've came and shot here in Las Cruces, you might see an interesting situation here. Jeremiah is shooting in pants instead of the UPS short shorts that he usually wears, which is, you know, for commentating the game, makes it a little easier to watch. I'm just kidding. You can tell that guy never skips leg day, though. I think one of the biggest things that Jeremiah's going to have to try and deal with is he got here and said that he didn't do his hair, and they were trying to follow the rules of Tim's tournament that he has next week, and I told him he has to shoot with his hat off, and I guess they made a gentleman's agreement that he didn't have to. Yeah. Too pretty sometimes to try and shoot. That was a beautiful shot right there, leaving the 3-9 combo into the side pocket. And Jeremiah does take his time and is very deliberate in all his actions when he's shooting pool, so we'll see nothing different. the 6-ball's not in the way of the shot, which is good for him. So he's got full access to the ball, to the cue ball, as well as seeing everything on the table. Just needs to make sure to pocket this ball. Jeremiah coming up a little short on the angle that he wanted to on the 9. You can tell he's starting to kind of press a little bit on some of his shots here. He's still taking his time, still looking at everything, but on that one there, he's normally a pretty good shooter on a combo, especially one that would be that straight. I tried to let these guys know, you know what I'm saying, when you're shooting in tournaments and in money matches and stuff like that, when you're not just shooting with your friends, you really want to kind of bear down and stay within yourself as far as not letting your opponent see that you're getting frustrated or upset or anything like that. It's just as much sometimes of a mind game as it is just playing within yourself. Jeremiah's going to play the safety, pushing the cue ball all the way down to the bottom rail. Ooh, getting really close to that side pocket, and his speed was off on that. Not by much, but it just happened to float between the window of the 5, 9. Chance, I believe, can see enough of the ball in order to cut that 4 ball. The pink 4 is in the middle of the table. Chance tried to go with a safety. I'm not really sure if he was trying to place himself behind the 6 ball. He caught way too much of the 3 ball and had way too much speed regardless. So we'd like to, again, thank our sponsors. With them, we wouldn't be able to do things like streaming the tournaments and stuff. Mesilla Valley Satellites, we'd like to thank them. You can see them up in the top right corner. If you're ever out and about in Las Cruces, we appreciate you using some of our sponsors. Make sure that you let them know that you saw their advertisement here with us. If you're hungry and in the area, some of the close sponsors out here besides Jerry's, which doesn't have full service food, but they got a vending machine and a couple little snacks here, but they do have a full service bar. But you also have Si Senor just down the street. They also have Si Senor Express. A safety out of Jeremiah with good speed. Didn't really lock him down though. He can get around the ball, he can shoot over the ball. When you talk about lockup safeties, you're talking about keeping the ball on another one so that it makes it a lot harder for the opponent. Chance with a real easy 1 rail kick out. Happens to catch it right to throw it towards the pocket, but it did not go in. Although Jeremiah, you know, was wearing pants today, he's still wearing Crocs. So I guess he was going for a little bit more comfort than style on this one. I guess I'm a person who never really understood those there. Why not just wear flip-flops? Jeremiah waiting for a second as we got somebody else shooting on one of the tables, which is great because we got more action out here. We got Bob McGrath shooting on table 2 over there. Jeremiah is going to pull out the rest and use that for his next shot. And let's see if we can get a good look as far as how he's going to try and hit this. Looks like he might be trying to go with no English, which is... he's putting a little top on there, so he should roll out a little further. He does have to worry about the other balls that are creating kind of a wall to get past. He does make that one there coming around. The 4 ball doesn't quite get to see the 4 ball. He's trapped behind the 8. Looks like he played a better safety on himself on this one here. So which way is he going to go for? Looks like he's going to do a 1 rail. Kind of a good thing on this one here, especially at this level. A lot of the lower level shooters will try and shoot combo shots on the 9 just to get the game over with, and Chance is one of the lucky people at getting those accomplished. I know that makes it kind of difficult when you're shooting in the tournaments where you're spotting, especially with Chance playing at a 400 and having to give quite a few spots, whereas a higher level shooter, 500 plus, something like that, would take something like this and just shoot the rack out. Everything's kind of a road map here, has its own pocket, not really stressing too far as how much you have to move the ball. Chance pulled that ball. I don't think he really got down and looked to see where he wanted to be. If anything, he wanted to be on the other side of the 5 ball, because then it lends itself to easier shape coming back on the 6. Possible two-way shot there. Missed both shots. And that's what I mean about the lower Fargos not really having too much control over their lead, because they don't take a whole lot of time at looking and seeing where stuff is going to go. And I'm at fault on that. I'm sure Tibor's going to send me a text here in the next couple minutes. We have a Scotch doubles tournament coming up Saturday for XLR8 tournaments. It's going to be down at Pizza Zone, another one of our sponsors. We really appreciate Irwin and the rest of the gang down there, Chewy, at Pizza Zone. They're always very nice to, the tournament organizers as well as the players. They're very respectful. They have great food. So if you're in El Paso and need a place to shoot, or a place to get a pizza, or just grab a drink and hang out, Pizza Zone is your place out there on Montana. Just off the Purple Heart. Jeremiah getting down on this one here. It's going to be a bank shot on the 5. Oh no, he did try to go for the slide down the rail. Did not happen. I already got a comment from Tibor. How you doing, Chief? Chance looks like he's going to put some draw on the 5 ball. He does. Comes out to the middle of the table, leaving himself a decent shot on the 6 ball. Just needs to take his time. This rack kind of lends itself to getting out. It's all about the speed on this shot here, holding close to that rail. That's a good speed right there from Chance, putting it in. Now he can either take his medicine, leave himself a little long, and I'll guarantee a good shot on the 8 ball, or he can try and, looks like he's going to go with some right hand English off the rail. Unfortunately hitting it a little too hard again. He wanted to be on the other side of the 8 ball. Not too difficult of a shot. Chance just needs to bear down. Catch a little break here. No, he does not. But he does leave his opponent a 8.5 foot shot coming back down. Now this one here, it's just make the 8 ball, the cue ball roll back out towards the center of the table, and you leave yourself a straight in shot on the 9 ball. But sometimes on the 9 footers, when you're not expecting it, and they kind of come out a little bit fast or a little bit slow, and you leave yourself a shot where you do need to bear down a lot harder than you should on a final ball. Jeremiah down, concentrating. On a long shot, he does not make it, but doesn't leave Chance a good shot either. So let's see how we're going to work this one right here. Chance tries to cut and scratches into the side pocket. That's one of those where you don't pay attention to how the ball is going to come off the rail. He needed to put a little bit more left-hand English on that to try and keep it on the bottom side of that side pocket. This is going to let Jeremiah out for his first win, assuming that he pockets this ball. Jeremiah's down, looking, takes a shot, and pushes it right into the short rail. Oh boy. this is where Jeremiah's starting to find himself in the quicksand. This is a long race, and a lot of these early game matches, or the early games of the match, don't really take a whole lot on you, but it seems like he's kind of letting these get to him a little bit. You could see him over there talking to himself. Chance flying the ball. I think he was going for a bank shot, but it really wasn't the shot that he was trying to go for. He left himself no way to leave himself, or at least to leave his opponent if he missed. So Jeremiah has a second shot at a almost straight in 9-ball. Jeremiah taking his time again, which is good, bearing down. And there it is, Jeremiah getting his first game. Hopefully he'll start riding this one here to a couple wins. Again, we're playing winner breaks. And we'll be right back after Jeremiah racks it up. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Jerry O's, where we have break number 5 coming up. Chance is up 3-0 on Jeremiah. Jeremiah was able to get that last game. We are playing under a winner break format. We are playing 9-ball, more of your standard 9-ball, except for if the 9-ball goes in to the bottom 2 pockets, it does not count. Of course, with the Magic Rack, you don't get too much action on the 9-ball unless something comes in and gets it. Looks like we might see our first push of the day. Now what a push is after the break, whether you make a ball or if it's your opponent at the table after you break, the first ball is able to be moved via the cue to anywhere on the table. It doesn't have to hit a ball, it doesn't have to hit a rail. And then your opponent comes to the table and decides whether they want to take the shot or not. If they don't want to take the shot, they just pass it back to the person who played the safety. And then it continues on from there. I believe Jeremiah did call push out. And let's see what he's going to try and move. He does go into the 7-ball. And Chance very quickly moves back to Jeremiah having the shot. I'm going to come over here and just kind of take a look. When you're ready, sir. So here's the shot right here from Jeremiah. Good hit. And in tournament play, and in play where it's kind of set up, usually you do have somebody who's able to do reffing on shots and doing officiating on shots. Usually at the tournaments it's going to be Aaron or Jim, or sometimes he takes a couple volunteers. A lot of times Aaron will pull out his phone. He's got the super slow-mo since he's got the super slow eyes, so that way he's able to see it. So Jeremiah on the rail. It was kind of tough to try and get any kind of leave off that, as he was going to make contact right away with the 4-ball. A very, very nice shot from Jeremiah on the combo. He is going to come off the 2-ball. Very good. He's actually on the good side for this. Making that 2-ball into the corner pocket will leave himself good for rolling out to the 4-ball, which is on the complete opposite side of the table. Looks like he's going to dig in with some left and just try to follow the line of the long rail down. Taking his time, very meticulous about that shot. Just misses the 5-ball. The 5-ball might have helped him out there had it made some contact, but still didn't run off the rail that far, so it should be a good shot on the 4. Would like to say thank you very much to Amaro Winery in Mesilla. Good place to go. They've got a lot of different events that come and go throughout. They've got painting, so you can go sip yourself some wine, do some painting. I know they have bands that go and play there. In fact, the Lumberjacks will be playing there on July 8th. Something to go check out. They have a very beautiful lead singer for that band. And just generally good guys in that band as well. But again, that's going to be at Amaro Winery. One of the, actually the couple of the guys that are the owners there are avid pool shooters as well. They play not only on Tuesday nights in the leagues, but they also play in quite a few of the tournaments. Would like to give a shout out to Walter and Scott. Hope you guys are having a great day. That was a good little push right there from Jeremiah, leaving himself a good shot on the 6-ball now. It's all about speed control again, trying to hold for that 7-ball. You want to leave yourself a bit of an angle so you can come out for the 9-ball. Looks like he's going to try and dig on this so that he can get a bit more power on the 6-ball. A drag shot, but unfortunately the 6-ball is going to settle. The 6-ball is going to settle in the jaws of the pocket and not quite go in. Chance going rail first on the 6-ball. Might have left himself a little bit too straight on the 7. We will keep looking. Chance tried to force an angle to come off, and unfortunately how he left the angle wasn't going to help at all. But the 9-ball and the 7-ball, he did get some love here. The 7-ball is really close to the 9-ball, and they're both leading straight into the pocket. So I don't see a combo shot or anything that he's going to be able to kind of run off on that there. But Jeremiah's shooting with a 392 Fargo, which during most of the tournaments they'll kind of bump him up to a 400 so that we don't have too big of an advantage for them. Same with Chance shooting at a 387. I mean, only 5 points separates these guys. That's, you know, in the early games, that's one or two games against a big boy that puts you up that high. Jeremiah playing a wonderful safety, just pushing the 7 out and having the cue ball run to the rail. Now, for those of you who don't know, a safety shot, actually for any kind of illegal shot in pool, you have to have the cue ball struck, and the cue ball has to hit in 9-ball, the lowest ball, which is a rotation game setup. And when you make that contact with the lowest ball, a ball either has to be pocketed or hit the rail in order for it to be considered a legal hit. And on that shot there, Jeremiah just touching the 7-ball, pushing it to the other side of the 9-ball, actually setting up this shot here was off that safety. Chance did give the ball a good ride towards the corner pocket. It didn't go in, so a successful safety for Jeremiah. Jeremiah looking to dig on that 7-ball. He's going real low with the tip. And I think when he tried to put that little extra oomph on the ball, which, I mean, left him a great shape on there, but I think that's what made the 7-ball not go into the center pocket. So a very good safety followed by a not very good side pocket shot. Chance, I think, wanted to try and pull that back a little bit, but he's going to go on ahead and take his medicine on this 9-ball. A long 9-ball shot. He just needs to bear down, get a good roll on the ball, and it did not. It looked like he hit it high and kind of the tip rolled off a little bit. Jeremiah having a sharp angle coming into the to the side pocket. Definitely a makeable shot. And you can really kind of see the difference in the styles of play between these two. You have Jeremiah that's more deliberate, takes more of his time, and Chance who just kind of goes up there and knows what he wants to do and shoots it, which is, you know, depending upon how you shoot, that's what you're going to shoot. Jeremiah pulling back now within one game of Chance. We'll see how this concludes after this. So we're back at 2-3. Jeremiah is trailing by 1 game to Chance. Let's see how Jeremiah is going to keep stringing these together. If Chance is going to... You can tell both of them are kind of a little agitated on missing some of the early game shots, but they can't let that carry over too far in. So Jeremiah on the break didn't really seem to get a whole lot of hammer through it and leaving Chance's shot, but there is kind of a big messy area down by the 2, 9, 4, 8. A lot of back and forth on this table. Chance putting that one into the pocket, leaving himself in the center of the table. Should be able to come out nicely, making this and leaving himself a shot at least to see the 2-ball. From this angle, I can't really tell what you would want to do with that 2-ball. Oops, I'm sorry. I was looking at the 3 to shoot before the 2. Huh. Chance makes a solid contact with that 2-ball. Very nice contact with the 2-ball, except that gigantic corner pocket. So Jeremiah is going to go ahead and clean the cue ball, set it down for a shot for the 2 in the side pocket, and roll it forward, leaving himself the 3. He does want to leave himself a bit of an angle, so if he rolls too far, he doesn't roll into the pocket following the 2-ball. There's a good shot. With a decent angle for the 3-ball to try and travel back across the table for the 4. Position for the 4-ball, you probably want to be just on the other side of the 7-ball, so you can play a stop shot on the 4-ball, leaving yourself the 5. But the question when you shoot that 4-ball is, do you want to use the 8-ball to make the 4-ball in order to get the 8-ball out of there? With the 7 in the position that it's at, you could probably just run a stop shot going into that same pocket for the 8. But Jeremiah taking it 1 ball at a time, shooting the 3-ball. He just decided to leave himself with a cut shot there. Now he is going to be not able to hold the 4-ball to make the 5, I don't think. We'll see what he decides to go for here. Looks like he might be trying to play a soft shot to... No, he was going to try and go back and down. I don't think he would have really liked the leave anyway, trying to make that 5-ball. He could have played a safety and tucked in behind the 8-ball, but the balls probably would have been a little different had he made the 4-ball. Chance has an opportunity to pull it back. Just made contact with the 8-ball. Unfortunately, put him on the wrong trajectory to hit the 5. It missed the 5, because that would have been great if he would have hit that, leaving himself a little bit better of a shot. Chance taking a bit of a flyer on the 9-ball. Jeremiah having the opportunity now to play a carom shot using the 5-ball and go into the 9-ball and put that 9-ball into the same corner that they're down there playing with this whole time. Speaking of our sponsors, we've unfortunately had somebody within our pool community who had their catalytic converter stolen. And if that happens to you, you find yourself in need of any kind of vehicle work, go on ahead and get yourselves in contact with Egan Auto. Egan Auto here in Las Cruces is a very good company. He's also one of the pool shooters on Tuesday nights. If you get a chance, there's his slide right there, actually. A nice cut there by Chance. Oh, just happening to go in and out of the pocket. They are playing on probably one of the more difficult tables here at Old House, and I know they do a lot of work on all these tables, but this one here, actually, this table, exact table, used to be down at a place called Shark Dogs in El Paso, and it was shimmed down for the longest time, and then they opened back up the pockets, and it seems like sometimes it still plays just as tight. There's a good speed control shot by Jeremiah. Jeremiah now looking, trying to figure out how he's going to go. Looks like he's almost straight in. I don't know if he can manufacture an angle on this to get the cue ball to travel or not. And he's not going to be able just to play a stop shot on the 6 ball to leave a straight in 7. You got the 9 blocking. So regardless, he's going to have to roll forward. Let's see what he's going to do here. He is going with top. He does put a little bit into it, leaving himself at least a shot at the 7 ball. This shot's definitely makeable, and it would leave you a good shot on the 8 ball to finish out this game. Strikers Shooting World here in Las Cruces off of Valley. Got a great indoor range, good place to go and shoot. I know they have concealed carry courses every now and then. Stop in there. They also do gun service cleaning. They can clean your tools. Get yourself shooting straight, shooting better at Strikers World Shooting. Jeremiah electing not to really give a good go at the 7 ball. Hits it way too thin. It didn't have a chance at going in. But the speed was almost there to block him with the 9 ball. I'm not thinking that's what he was trying to do. Had he actually made the 7 ball, it would have slowed down, and Chance with just another pocket that is just giving him problems. He's not able to make any of those shots. See what he's going to do here. Jeremiah looks like he might be blocked a little bit by the 8 ball. Jeremiah not a jumper, doesn't have a jump cue, I've never seen him actually get airborne with the cue. Looks like he might go with the 1 rail bank, but that's a difficult shot with how deep the 7 ball is on that pocket. If you breathe on that 7 ball, it's going in. So he's not going to be able to go rail first on 90% of these shots. A player like Mark Balazan would be drooling over these shots here for his patented 17 rail bank. He is going to go for the 1 rail kick. Traveling down to the long side. Coming back, it's got a chance. It's got a chance. Well, now it definitely has a chance as he's up shooting. Chance looking at how he wants to try and go at this. He's going to probably put the ball on the short rail. Just go into the 7, 1 rail out. Now, I think he probably should have gone long rail and with the cue ball, putting left-hand English on it and just going with the speed shot just to stay on that side of the table. 8 ball's not the most difficult shot from that side there, but where Chance left himself using the bridge does leave a little bit of a chance for him to not successfully convert this 8 ball just like that. Oh my. Oh my. I think the only person that wouldn't have to use a rest on that shot there would have been Tibor or Eklund Kachi. One of those, you know, nice 12-foot shooters. Congratulations to Eklund Kachi for his win at the UK Open. I still think it was kind of funny. I was talking to Tibor about it last night. You know, when people win their tournaments, the big, you know, big name tournaments and stuff like that, when they get over that last ball and they make the ball, they're jumping on the table, they're yelling, they're letting all that energy out. And Kachi, as soon as he finished, this guy's all business, man. He just shook his opponent's hand, shook the ref's hand, and stuck up his stick, you know, acknowledging the crowd, and then broke his cue down and left. Jeremiah giving a little wave right there to Chance, knowing that that wasn't what he was going for, but it might play out to Jeremiah's advantage. Let's see if he's able to pocket this long 9-ball shot. Looks like he's going to put it in the side pocket. Side pocket playing bigger than normal with the ball that center of the table. Jeremiah down, taking his time, bearing down, looking at the shot. And pushes it too far past the pocket. Now Chance is going to have an easy shot going right back into that same pocket unless he wants to try and put it all the way down. He's taking a look at both. He's taking more time looking at the side pocket, so you think that's what he's going to be shooting at. There's the shot, and Jeremiah and Chance have both hit the exact same spot on the pool table with that 9-ball. Do we have any takers for a third time? Do you think we can get it a third time? If I was a gambling man, I would say there's a 100% chance at a maybe. Jeremiah down, looking like he's going to go all the way down. Nope, it looks like he is going for the... He hits this mirror image of where that ball was on the pocket. Chance now has his opportunity to hit that same spot. It's like a game of horse. Can you hit the same spot on the rail? And a short game of horses. Chance puts that one in the side pocket, moving us into game number 7. Chance is now up 4-2. We got a 2-game lead back for Chance. Let's see how Jeremiah is going to respond after Chance breaks right after this. We're back to see Chance's break here in rack number 7. Chance glancing off the rack, but did get enough power through it to at least bust up the rack. Fairly good spread. Jeremiah's going to have to go to the bottom right side with this 1-ball. Then try and come out to leave himself the 2-ball in the side pocket. Like I said, both of these two young men are, you know, just starting out playing pool. They're both really starting to improve their game. They're practicing a lot, really starting to see how the ball moves on the table and how the different shots affect their shot. Jeremiah with a great hold right there, digging in on that cue ball, hitting it with a lot of screw, getting it to the long rail and holding off. Do you want me to move that? What's that? Okay. So Jeremiah having an easy shot on the 2 ball, but let's see what he does for shape on the 3. He might be going down the table, coming back for the bottom right pocket with the 3 ball. And like I said, Jeremiah knows the shot, but he's just very deliberate in all of his actions. We get 2 views of the spectrum with these 2 shooting here. Chance very fast around the table. He has to remind himself not to run around the table sometimes when he's shooting. Jeremiah unfortunately hitting both sets of teeth on the jaws on that. Now this one here is a fairly easy safety shot to push the cue ball to the rail after making contact with the 2 and hiding it behind the 5. Let's see exactly what happens. Thank you, sir. Yes, yes, water. The lifeblood of everything. Chance electing to try and go for a spray and pray method, I believe that was. I don't think that really lent itself very well for a long bank like that, but I guess he saw something I didn't. Jeremiah on the shorter side of the stature might have to stretch a bit across the table if he doesn't want to use the bridge. Here's the shot right here. He's going to go with some left-hand English, try to go 2-rail shape on the 3 ball for the same pocket. I think he missed the throw for what he was trying to do, because that was about 2 inches off the pocket, if not more. Chance trying to play a safety and double hitting the cue with the 2 ball, so everything kind of just stopped and stayed where it was. Now it's going to be an easy chance for Jeremiah to do a return safety. Now it's Chance is able to jump the ball, so he's gonna needed to hit it a little bit harder to get the 2 ball behind the 8, and he would have had it safe on both sides. There is no window between the 6 and 7, so Chance already grabbing the shorty coming on up. Chance elevating the back of that cue. It was a good attempt. It was a very good attempt. Unfortunately, Chance is going to watch the cue ball go right into the side pocket. Bad luck for Chance on that one. But he did get the ball up and over, which is something that he's been practicing at and doing fairly well at. I know one person I hate seeing grab the jump cue is Aaron, the granddaddy for XLR8 tournaments. Especially at his house when shooting with him, and he grabs that little one. It's almost automatic for him. He's been doing really well with the practicing on that. I believe he's got the Gilligan coming up in a little while, so our skipper has qualified for the Gilligan. He's got that paid for from winning another tournament. Jeremiah making the 2-ball. Didn't quite pull it back as far as he wanted to. Left himself a lot of meat on that 3-ball, especially coming off the rack. We didn't move it before, so we're not going to move it now. Getting down on the ball. He should be leaving himself on the left side of the table, further down, so that he can leave that 4-ball into the same pocket as the 3. I'm not sure if that was a safety or if that was a just a miss. I'm thinking it was just a miss. Not sure if that was a wave or a smack on the table, but Chance not going to be able to jump at this one here, as he's got a wall between him, actually 2 walls with the 5-8 and then the 6-7. So the best shot on this one here is going to be, my goodness, he's going to have to kind of spin around that wall of the 5-8 and get some leave on there. Let me see if this is... Okay. It is off the rail, so all he really has to do is touch the 3 in order for it to get the opportunity for a shot, for a legal hit. And for those of you who are wondering, you know what I'm saying, why they have the little sticks and, you know, the jumping and all that stuff there, why are they doing that instead of coming under with their cue and scooping? Well, in BCA, that's not considered a legal hit. That there, however, that was a wonderful shot by Chance, blocking him now with the 7 ball. But in order to have it be a legal hit, what you're doing there is you're taking that little stick with a hard tip and you're actually hitting down on the ball using the slate surface to actually rebound the ball into the air. Jeremiah going to have to go, is he looking at 2 rails? No, he's looking at 1 rail. He's going to try and get as close to the 7 ball as he can. Problem is the 3 ball where it's at, he's got to make sure that he hits a rail afterwards. We got contact with the 3, contact with the 9. Foul, no rail. Like I was saying, he needed to make sure to get enough on it so that it'll travel to a rail. Chance leaving himself the 4-9. He stayed down wonderfully on that shot. Actually kind of stayed down and watched everything resolve. That's the best way to do it. You know, that way you're making sure you're not jumping up on the ball, getting excited, getting happy feet. Especially for Chance, known to kind of run around the table. Staying down like that is a good thing. There's a good roll with the 9 ball. 9 ball just off by about 1 inch. Jeremiah playing a game of geometry here, trying to figure out how he's going to make the 4 ball come off and miss the 7 to travel down for the 5. Jeremiah having to wait for somebody on a different table real quick. All right. All right. Jeremiah's going to go ahead and shoot at the ball. Looks like he's putting some draw on it. Probably try to make that window between the 6-7. He went through it, but the contact with the 7 ball killed the cue ball and unfortunately pushed the 6 and 7 together, not making it the easiest shot in the world. 7's off angle, so you can't do that. I don't know if the 6, I'm going to move around the table here. 6 ball does happen to go into the bottom left pocket. So this is going to be a speed shot with a little bit of right hand English, a little bit of high right to try and leave yourself almost straight in on that 6. Jeremiah going, looks like a tip of each, both top and right. Unfortunately, his speed control was off. There is a way to kick at this, hitting the 6 into the 7. If the 6 continues through, the 6 would go into the side pocket. But again, that's far beyond my understanding of a shot. Looks like he's going to go for the 1 rail kick. Jeremiah with the hyper focus just happens to not get the shot off that he wanted to. Now Chance gets to put the ball right there by the 6. There it is, the push through, and Chance making the 6 ball. Now it's got a road map out, 7 in the side, 8 in the top left. 9 in the bottom left. Now it's all about execution. Let's see if Chance is able to take his time and make that. Going with a nice soft shot, leaving himself the shot on the 8 ball. You know, the shot position for this 9 ball is darn near half the table. This is a fairly easy shot to get some good shape on. Looks like he went with some left-hand spin, which unfortunately when he did that he got off aim on the 8 ball. Jeremiah going to just draw the cue ball back into natural shape for the 9 ball. There it is. I don't know if he kind of fell off that shot or what, but it didn't look like how I would have thought he would have tried to shoot that. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of landing zone for this 9 ball in order to get a good shot for it. Jeremiah down, trying to close out rack number 7. And we are back within 1 game. Jeremiah is now only trailing 3-4. He'll be back with the rack right after this. All right, Jeremiah back on the break, down trailing 1 game. We've been in this situation before. We are slowly climbing the ladder, getting closer to that 11 mark. Race to 11, first to 11 wins. Jeremiah on a very poor shot on the break, happens to escape making 2 balls and can see the full 3 ball. 7 ball is also in the throw to the pocket. He's got a couple of ways to either shoot at this. If you're looking to have your own XLR8 SHOWDOWN match, get a hold of either Aaron Horvath or Joe Souza. You can get a hold of us either in person at any of our many events, or get a hold of us on Facebook or via text or anything like that. We can go on ahead and set you up. If you just want to try and get a match in with somebody, you don't know who, we can usually find matches. You know, I know Chance was trying to play, I believe it was Brandon for the longest time, but that didn't work out. Kind of like that shot there not working out for Jeremiah. But I know they had that big tournament coming up, so I just, at the last tournament actually, this all came together in less than a week. What you get with that, with an XLR8 SHOWDOWN match, is a flyer, you know, some visibility for people to see that you wanna try and get some play in, or we could do more of a serious one. I usually do a lot of the funny ones, you know. For this one here, we had Scarecrow versus the Gigolo, which I thought was pretty darn funny. And you can see some of the other ones that we have up on Facebook as well from some of the other matches. We also have a couple other people who are able to do flyers. If you have somebody else you want to do your own flyer, we're more than welcome to put that up there as well. In good taste, obviously. But we're able to, you know, live stream, do some commentary. If we can work out a date where everything works out, we can get yourself with your own set up XLR8 SHOWDOWN match. Chance making a good shot on the last one. He's put some good pockets together. Unfortunately, that one there was just not well off, but he is going to get the safe out of this for the most part. A little bit of distance and a 6-ball in the way. Jeremiah going to look at all 360 angles of this shot. Sees the one rail shot that he's looking for. I wonder if he took into account how this ball is going to react once it hits the 5 coming off the rail. Cue ball does happen to slow up before it goes into the pocket. Kind of spun, sat itself around in there. Chance taking a look down the rail, probably going for the going for the corner pocket. A little bit off. Now Jeremiah having to shoot tree-topped on this 8-ball. He's going to have to elevate with his hand and with his cue so that he can make good contact on the 5 and hopefully pocketing it into the top right corner. He is elevated. There's the shot. And he is going to scratch, leaving Chance the roadmap to victory. Chance not leaving himself any kind of an angle. Looks like he's just going to try and draw it straight back. Does slide off and go to the rail, which helps him out tremendously. Needing a 3-rail leave for the 8-ball. He didn't hit it hard enough, and it's going to slow up. Chance looks like he's going to play for the bank on this one here, leaving himself the shot on the 9-ball in the bottom corner pocket. Missing on the high side. Did not get a good angle coming off. I'm pretty sure Jeremiah's going to want to cut at this instead of trying to bank it. Where the cue ball is, it's basically in the center of the table where it is usually normally sitting in the rack. So here's the shot. There's a shot from Jeremiah. Does happen to rattle but go into the pocket, leaving himself on the 50-yard line. But the good thing he does have is separation from the rail by a little bit, so he can kind of hit whatever part of the pocket he wants, or of the ball he wants to. Jeremiah lining up in the bottom right corner. Let's see if he's taken into account where the side pocket is. Looks like he's going with just a hair atop, which should help to keep him out of it, straighten it out. No, he's elevating that backhand a little bit. Taking another look at it. Back down on the ball. Jeremiah with the strike, making it. That's perfect. It's going to tie this thing up 4-4. We shall be right back. Alright, welcome back to the XLR8 SHOWDOWN match between Jeremiah and Chance. We're sitting at 4-4. An even match right now. Looks like we're about an hour and a half in. I apologize for those of you who missed the first couple racks. They might have been saved on there and you might be able to see some of it, but I'm not sure whether it worked or not. I guess we were getting some pretty bad reverb with the audio. There's a better break right there from Jeremiah, making the one ball in the side pocket, leaving himself a good look at the two. Now he's going to have to hit this two darn near perfect in order to roll the cue ball up, make the two ball, and leave himself a shot on the three. Jeremiah lining up on the shot. And he needs to try and put some spin on the two ball that'll keep it on the rail. Just getting past the pocket. That's what makes this shot so difficult, is getting by that jaw of the pocket. He does. And what a beautiful shot. Beautiful shot by Jeremiah. Jeremiah's going to now go for the combo shot for the 6 ball. It's all about where he leaves the 3 and the cue ball. There it is, a nice good slow roll, and he doesn't want it to go in. It does follow it in. That is very unfortunate. Those of you who are on Main Street should know all about Corner Deli. Corner Deli, that's usually one of my Friday hangouts right there. Go in, get yourself a nice sandwich. They've got good hot sandwiches, good cold sandwiches. Fresh avocado, fresh ingredients, wonderful bread. I believe the bread is actually picked up that morning for them to use. If you have a party that you need catered, they are able to make nice, big, multiple foot-long sandwiches for your party. Give them a call. Maybe get yourself a nice, not Super Bowl party, but right now we got hockey going on, so go watch some of Lord Stanley's Cup action with a nice sandwich from Corner Deli. Chance getting some unneeded love from the 8 ball on that one there. Bouncing him back again and again off the rail and unfortunately going into the corner pocket, scratching. Jeremiah figuring how he wants to work the rest of this rack out. He's debating taking it back or forth. I think he already knows what he wants to do, but he just needs to execute. So he's going to put the 5 and the 7 in the same pocket. Depends on the side he wants to go for the 8 ball. There's a shot. Jeremiah in. See if he can make the rest of these balls and actually take the first lead of the match for himself. Jeremiah hitting the ball way too hard, but getting some love that Chance didn't get off the 8 ball, leaving himself a good shot. Just making this 8 ball should lend itself to a nice straight in 9 ball. For those of you who want to do some sponsoring with XLR8 tournaments, we have multiple tiers that you can get in. Get in at the ground level, get yourself a nice slide on our streams here. We do multiple tournaments a month. Couple of showdown tournaments here and there, that showdown matches, I'm sorry, here and there, that you'd be getting your visibility out for your company. So get a hold of Aaron Horvath. You could even get a hold of myself and we can get you in the right contact for who to get yourself in with this wonderful company. Chance having a difficult cut shot here on a 9-foot table. On a 7 it's not as difficult, but here on the 9 you just have that little extra room that plays a little bit of tricks on you. There's Chance making a beautiful cut shot, winning rack number 9, taking us to 5-4. Chance still in the lead, and we'll be back with Chance's break after this. Off the break from Chance. Nothing dropping. Jeremiah putting some top in and missing the 1 ball. And how he missed it, ended up leaving the cue ball holding the rail with the spin. Following it straight down for the pocket that he was trying to make the 1 ball in. I'm not going to say I've never done that. I've done that my fair share of times. Chance going for a longer shot on the 1 ball, but you know, with the ball where it's at, you know, you kind of have the longer shot, so you got to hit it a little bit harder, but you're not stretching yourself out or leaning over the side of the table or anything like that. But unfortunately that did not play the way that Chance wanted it to, and he ended up going and rattling the 1 ball. Did leave himself the shot on the 2, but we'll see how that's going to play out. So I know we have the Scotch Doubles tournament coming up this weekend. It's going to be at Pizza Zone in El Paso. For those of you, I know we got quite a few people who want to get in but don't know somebody to, you know, partner up with on Scotch Doubles. And how Scotch Doubles works is you and your partner trade off shots, not just times at the table. So you're leaving the shot for the next person. So it brings a whole new meaning to shooting 1 ball at a time. If you have a problem finding somebody, get with Aaron. I know he's got a couple of people that are looking for people to play with. And come out there and enjoy yourself. It's going to be a fun time, a nice fun tournament. Jeremiah going jaw to jaw, leaves a nice straight in easy shot for Chance, who decides he wants to leave himself in the pocket. Shooting out of the side pocket for the 3 ball. Chance overcuts, flies the 9 ball over to the 5. Blocking the 5 ball in, I don't think that 5 ball has a very good landing zone to try and get good shape. It is on the rail, so you can spin it in. It's actually one of the more fun shots in pool because it's such an easy one to do. You just load it up with the inside English on the ball and almost go rail first, and it squirts over into the ball and pushes it into the pocket. Jeremiah going to try and thinly cut this, I believe, into the side pocket. Another decent shot here would be a safety by pushing the 3 against the 5 and leaving the cue ball to the other side of the rail. The problem with that is it would leave you a combo coming out, but at least you'd be back up at the table with ball in hand. And here they are playing with the 3 foul rule in effect. So you can, what is referred to as 3 foul your opponent, which means if they hit a illegal hit 3 times in sequential order for themselves, then it is a concession of game. So that is another way that you can win without making a single ball if you wanted. Chance going with the miss that happens to hold a distance safety on the 9-footer. Something a little easier to do on a 9-footer than on a 7-footer. Both Chance and Jeremiah last night were shooting over at Lucky Dogs, getting that last minute of practice in. I know Jeremiah had actually came over here and was shooting starting at about 3 o'clock over here at Jerry O's. Come on out. Their hours here at Jerry O's, Tuesday through Saturday, is 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. On Sunday, you can come on out at 2 o'clock and shoot until 6 o'clock. Keep in mind they do have open bar, or a full bar. I'm sorry, not an open bar, a full bar. Big selection of beers and wines to choose from, as well as some of the mixed drinks that you're able to get. So come on out here to Jerry O's off of Loman. Chance trying to swerve the ball, leaving Jeremiah not with a way to pocket the ball, but he does have a good safety going into the 3 ball and trying to leave the 3 ball on the bottom side and put the cue ball more on the top side of that wall, which is the 9-8-5. But again, it's about speed and angle that you're coming off on the 3 ball. Jeremiah taking his time, seeing he's going to touch the 3 ball. 3 ball goes in, and he does leave his opponent hooked. And like I said, Chance is a good jumper, but this is not a shot that you really want to jump because you have to come down on the 3 ball, and from there you're not sure whether you're not gonna hit the 3 ball and fly off the table. So I think the only person that'd be able to do that would be Aaron at his table at home. Like I said, he's Mr. Automatic. The guy that I'm never going to make any friendly wagers against anymore. That guy there's too darn good. Jeremiah trying to see what he wants to do. Now here is an opportunity for Jeremiah to try and set up a 3 foul. Instead of trying to make the balls out, he's got a decent wall right there with the 9-8-5. Chance is just about to the halfway point. Jeremiah needs to try and play a little bit of spoiler here. Looks like that might be what Jeremiah's gonna do. Maybe, maybe not. All he needs to do is kind of hit the brakes right there on the 5 against the 5 ball with the cue, sending the 3 ball 3 rails to the opposite side of the table. I do have to kind of be cautious of how loud I do speak. I mean, there are some people in here providing a little bit of background ambience noises, but I don't want them to hear other shots that they might try to do. Looks like he is going to go for the cut shot. He does want to go into the 5 and move it out of there because there's a really small window. Here's the shot. He is hitting it with low English. Oh, he did go for the safety. Unfortunately, comes into the 7 ball. Did leave it where he needed to leave it. Chance going for the 3 ball. I believe he's going for the kick. Can't really tell if he's... Yeah, the kick shot. Good shot from Chance. Let's see for his next trick what he's going to do. 5 balls frozen on the rail. So with the 5 ball being frozen on the rail, Chance knows he can't go directly into the 5 ball because he's going to have another ball coming out. Granted, he is on the 4 ball. The attempt was made. Let's see if Jeremiah's going to go for the combo or the carom shot, or try and bank it across. Jeremiah is kind of eyeing the cross bank there. What he's going to have to do though is load it up with some left-hand English and go into the 5-8 area with some gusto to try and knock the balls around. He might have just changed his shot. I know he was eyeing it, but I can't see now where. He tried to go for the combo shot. Looks almost like a two-way though, but you know, not really a two-way if you can't see the 5 ball on your next shot. There's the 4 ball from Chance. Coming right off the long rail, leaving himself behind the 10 or the 9 ball. There's not room to get behind the 9. Not even compressing the pocket, so Chance is going to go with the short stick. Now the problem with this again is going to be holding the table. You got a long jump, and you got to try and go into it and land on the downside. Chance up on his tiptoes now. Let's see how he's going to go with this. Here's the jump. It was a good hit. Amazing holding the table like that, sending the cue ball to one side and actually getting a fairly decent safe out of this. Jeremiah can see about a 1/16 of the ball. Good edge. Both gentlemen are doing a good job of kind of keeping their celebrations and their upset shots in check. Jeremiah looking like he's going to go for the just touch the 5 ball and send the cue ball back down to where it's at. And here's the shot from Jeremiah. Good speed on it. Just misses. I think you couldn't have fit a piece of paper in there. Chance having to go from one side of the table to the next for the next 3 shots. Chance electing to pull it down with some right hand English instead of trying to go for the ball into the rail. So a nice long shot from Jeremiah. He does need to hit it very well. I don't know if he's going to hit it with enough speed to get back down on the 6 ball. No. Pocketing the ball was job number 1. And unfortunately, the spin that he put on it took a little earlier than he wanted and kind of spun him into a bad spot on the 5 ball. Chance is going to go for the bank here. He's going to have to stop right after he hits the 5 in order to leave himself an angle to the 6 ball. Jeremiah playing a great safety right there, putting him right up against the 8 ball. Not sure how Chance is going to really come at this with 1 rail. Looks like he's going to have to go a 2-rail kick at this ball. He's going to go with a lot of spin. One rail, 2 rails, does make contact, and there is the rail contact after, so we are looking good on that. Again, these 9-foot tables, when you're used to playing on 7s, seem like a monster blue to play on. He is going to go with just making contact with the right-hand side of the ball. Send the cue ball around the rail. There it is. Got behind the 8 perfectly, and it's going to send it down to the side of the table. Now Chance, I think, is probably going to play the 5-6 combo here. Not the easiest shot, but Chance is a bit of a risk taker. He does, and he gets rewarded with a shot on the 5 ball after making the 6. 7 ball is right in the pocket, so all Chance has to do on this is just make the 5 ball. Chance does pocket the 5 ball very nicely, very sweet shot. Now he's going to want to roll towards the middle of the table, try and leave himself a good shot coming back for the 8 ball. 9 ball are pretty much a wrap once you get on those two with the right shot. Chance hitting it way too hard. Doesn't mean it's not makeable, but it does put a little bit more of a challenge on shooting this. And he just rattles out the 8 ball. Jeremiah coming back up, looking to try and tie it at 5. Jeremiah puts the extension on the cue. Very handy to have. Just screws onto the backside of his Q-Tech Ghost cue. I know both these guys here are playing with Q-Tech cues today. Jeremiah going with the very beautiful Ghost cue, and Chance going with the Sapphire Synergy cue. And Chance used to play with the red one, but unfortunately the red one ended up getting a little bit of a mispin alignment somehow, and so he ended up getting a new cue. He's been shooting okay with it, but we'll see how it continues on right now with Jeremiah knotting things back up at 5. We will be right back. Jeremiah tying things back up. We are now 5-5 here at Jerry O's in Las Cruces. Well, Jeremiah making 4 on the break, kind of pushing all of them into the same pocket, almost all at the same time. Quite amazing. And the most remarkable part of that is he still has a shot on the 2 ball. Jeremiah pulling out the rest. Gonna be trying to poke it in. See exactly how straight that is. He's got a good enough angle that he can try to work the ball back to getting on the 6 ball. Here he goes. He's going to put some bottom right on the ball, try and go to the rail, and spin back over towards the 6. There it is. He doesn't make contact with it, but he does leave himself a 6-9 combo. Some say the best combo in the game, the 6-9 combo. It is much better than the 6-10 combo if you're playing 10 ball. Jeremiah taking his time, knowing this could put him in his first situation where he's got a lead in the day. Here's the shot, line up. And first lead of the day for Jeremiah. What a great shot. Looks like he'll be breaking again in just a minute. So the first lead for Jeremiah puts him at 6-5 in the match. Jeremiah spinning off, almost putting the 1 ball in the side pocket, but how it came off, scratched the cue ball. Chance up and on his feet, hoping for some new life, get caught back up with this one. We'll see how he's going to roll this one. He's going to go for the side pocket, roll it forward, leaving himself the shot for the 2. Let's see if he's thinking 3 balls ahead here, because what does he want to do with that 3 ball? Does it go in past the 7? I'm not sure. And it doesn't look like it. I think it's probably going to have to be a shot into the side pocket. He does come off the 9 ball, very friendly. Here is his shot on the 3 ball in the side pocket. It was a very good shot for Chance, leaving himself the shot for the 4 ball all the way down in the bottom left pocket. Chance missing the 4 ball completely on that. I think he was trying to cut it back into the side pocket. I mean, he had a shot at that, but I would have thought that he would have slow rolled the 4 all the way down into the corner. Jeremiah taking his time, looking at this one here. He's going to want to go with the 4 ball into the side, come off the rail, leave himself with a 5 in the top right, but it looks like he's got other plans for that 5 ball. Looking at it now, it looks like he's giving himself a bit of an angle to come off the rail. Again, it's all about speed on these shots here. And it's good because you use the cushion to slow yourself down better than you would on a shot straight in. You'll see the pros a lot of times using those rails to their advantage, using it to slow down if they can hit the extra rail to keep better speed control than they do. There's a beautiful stroke by Jeremiah, putting it right in, giving himself a good angle on that 6 ball to leave himself a shot for the 7. Jeremiah looking at the angle on the 6 ball. Adjusting his hat, getting down on the ball. Let's see what he's able to do here. Here's the stroke. There it is, a good shot there, leaving himself perfect shape for the 7 ball. Because he does have a bit of an angle on the 7 ball, he's going to want to try and follow this forward. And that natural forward is going to leave him a nice shot on the 8 ball, depending upon speed, either in the corner or in the side pocket. It's about deciding which one you want to do and going for it. Looks like he's going to try and go with some draw instead of going forward. A lot of people do prefer to go with the top, just because then it opens up the pocket a bit more. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind Jerry O's does have a snooker table. Mark right here is going for a 140, 143 right now. So thank you all again for paying attention to our fun little showdown matches here with XLR8 tournaments. Again, if you want to get yourself into one of these showdowns, either you could find yourself a match, or you can find, let us find you a match. Similar to this one here, we found these guys here wanting to play a showdown on Saturday, and it just happened to work out that we could get this going today, as they wanted to get a little bit more practice on 9-footers with just a bit more pressure. Nice cut for Jeremiah. This will put him 2 games up and give him the largest lead that he's had today. And he overcuts, giving Chance an opportunity to even this match back up at 6. All right. Chance evening it back up at 6s. It is now a race to 5. 9 ball here at Jerry O's in Las Cruces. Chance breaking from the same spot that he's been breaking out almost the whole day. Seems like you might need to move the ball forward a little bit more so he can get some of the hit through. For those of you who can't stand the sound of my voice, we have Ryan Fritz coming in here in a little bit. It's going to take over some of the commentary. And just off the break, Jeremiah, is he going to push or is he going to try and play for it? On a shot like this, it's not too terribly much of a difference. He's going to get the magic rack out of the way. He is calling push. So where is he going to move the ball to? Pushes it just beyond the 9 onto the rail. Looks like he does have a long shot at making the 3 ball. So here's Chance down, taking his time. Let's see if he stays down very well on that shot, but unfortunately it does not pay off on that one. Like I said, both these guys are doing a real good job of, you know, trying to manage the game that they're given. When they get a chance to come back and watch this later, they'll understand some of the shots that they should probably work on and get a little better at. It's always nice to go back and watch the games and understand where your wins were and where your losses were. That was a beautiful shot there by Jeremiah. Unfortunately not getting a great rollout. 2 is cuttable past the 4, it looks like. A very sharp angle. Easier shot is always the safety on this one here, just pushing the 2 to the rail and having the cue ball run down to the corner. Jeremiah's going to go for the thin shot on the 2 here. Taking his time. He overcuts, or I'm sorry, undercuts it. Didn't think he had enough room to do that. I thought if he just kind of rubbed by the 4, he would have made it. Chance having an easy opportunity at the corner shot coming off, hitting the 4 ball, sending the 4 ball around, killing a lot of the speed that the cue ball might have wanted to get around, but such is what it is. Chance looking like he's going to either play off the 5 ball or play a safety. He's going to play a safety, overrunning his shape by about 4 feet. Jeremiah with two shots on this table here. You can either try and play the combo shot for the 8 ball or cut the 3 ball really thin into the side. I guess he could also cut to the top right pocket, but which does bring the side pocket into play, but if you miss the side pocket, you do have a better shot leading into the 4 ball. Jeremiah weighing all of his options. He's down on the ball. Looks like he's going to cut it into the side. He's trying to figure his angle coming off where it's going to be, if he's going to make contact with the 4 or if he needs to try and hold it with certain speed. He is going to roll it with top. And he does cut it too thin. Does make the contact with the 4 that I guess he was probably going to be looking for on that. Leaving Chance an easy shot to pocket the 3, but kind of an interesting way to try and come back at getting shape on the 4. He will do the 3 railer squeeze in between the 6-7. My goodness. Yeah, sometimes you don't have to make the same shot twice, but you just got to make it once, and he did that on that. Unfortunately, the contact with the 8 ball is going to cost him with the shape on the 5. He does have a little bit of the ball that he can see. Looks like he's going to try and dig down on the ball and get a little swerve action, but unfortunately missing the 5 on the way by. When that swerve hits the rail, it's going to take it all the way to the other side of the table without making contact with the 5. So Jeremiah with ball in hand, weighing his options here, whether he wants to try and go for the 5-9 or if he wants to go for the 5 ball run out. He is going to go for the run out here. Just needs to push the ball forward a little bit, give himself a straight shot on the 6 for a stop shot on the 6. Stop shot basically on the 7, and then just kind of roll around the 8 ball, coming back for the 9. He doesn't look too comfortable getting down. He was kind of raising an eyebrow, furrowing it a little bit, saying that he didn't like something about it, but it's obviously not that first shot as he goes ahead and makes that. Now, I don't think he's got good position to hold for the 7. He wanted to be a little bit straighter, at least on the other side of the ball. He is going to hit it with some draw, probably put the 7 in the top right pocket, or I'm sorry, the top left pocket. Let's see if he's able to catch a break and get lucky. No, he's not. So chance defer now at the table. Nice easy cut shot. Doesn't happen to convert for chance. He needed to take a little bit more time on that shot and see exactly where he hit it. And that's something I get yelled at by my partner a lot in Scotch doubles, is not taking the time sometimes to make sure that I'm lining up on the ball correctly, and I pay too much attention to the leaf. For me, it's an easy mistake. For a good shot right there by Jeremiah. He's going to leave himself the 7 ball in the side pocket, and the good thing is he can come out 2 rails and it'll go right into shape for the 8 ball. Here it is. It looks like he's putting draw on it, so he's going to... The problem with draw is if you're digging like that, sometimes you have what's referred to as swerve that gets unintentionally put on the ball. And when you swerve a ball like that, you're going to miss, and you're going to be wondering how you missed it or why you missed it. Well, it's swerve. It moves it just a little bit to the left or right, depending upon where you're making contact with the cue ball if you're not dead straight. Chance going with draw on his shot. I don't think he had really looked that top would have been the better way to shoot that, as he had a bit of an angle. Cue ball did finish up to the right, which if he would have gone with top, he could have gone 2 rails back over into line for the 8 as well. Looks like Jeremiah's going to try and cut this into the blind pocket. And it's what he's going to do with it after, if the assumption is he makes this ball. What's he going to do with the cue ball? Where's the cue ball going to go? He isn't putting any draw on it. Doesn't look like he's putting any right-hand English on it. He's going to slow roll it towards the pocket and make both at the same time. And that's what I was looking at as far as for the draw or any kind of English that he was going to put on the ball to try and make sure that he didn't go into that bottom corner pocket. Chance lining up for just a straight draw and try and get behind the 9 ball. There it is. He doesn't get the good stroke on it because he jumped up. Chance has been doing a decent job today, been staying down on the ball, but that one there, he jumped up when he was trying to put some good serious draw on it, and he paid the price. So now he's got to pay the piper with a long shot, take his medicine, and the lead that he has on it does do a good job of not leaving Jeremiah a straight in shot or an easy shot at all. Looks like he's going to be trying to bank it, I'm pretty sure, but let's see what happens. So down on the ball, Jeremiah looks at it. Let's see where he's going to go with this one here. And here's the stroke right here, taking a lot of time to focus. Remember, you aim small, you miss small. He did try to go for the cut shot and scratches again. Chance up out of his seat like a bullfrog with a M80 up its butt. Line himself up, straight in shot, giving himself a bit of an angle. And Chance is back on top, 1-0. This one here is a battle going back and forth. We'll see how this thing is going to shape up here just after this. Welcome back to the XLR8 SHOWDOWN match. Chance versus Jeremiah. Chance is going to move his break point now. Something that was discussed with the two of them as far as on a long race like this. You know, if your break's not working, you get a chance to move it around in the same. Oh no, some terrible, terrible luck from that kick on the 8-ball. Chance has not been getting any love from the 8-ball as far as wherever he's trying to roll. So we'll see what Jeremiah decides to do right now. I mean, Jeremiah does already have Chance at 1, but the balls are really spread out. Chance did make 2 on the break. He made the wing ball, and then the 7-ball came across the face of the table and went right into the side. Doing a great job on that. Looks like he's going to start off with the combo shot. Taking the 1-8 combo. He's down on the ball. Now again, Jeremiah taking more deliberate time than Chance. Chance is actually playing slower than he normally does, which is good because he needs to sometimes take his time. Oh my. That was not a shot at the 1-8 combo. That was a beautiful safety. He is pinched at the ball, so he only has one direction that he can shoot out. And let's see if he can get down and back with missing the spread out balls that are down at the other end of the table. He could. I don't know. Chance is kind of a risk taker. He might go into the jaw of the side pocket and try to bounce back out. Nope. That was foul with bad contact. Chance is now at 2. Let's see if Jeremiah can figure out a way that he wants to safe these 2 balls. Now, he doesn't have to do it on this one here. Jeremiah is able to shoot the 1, you know, the 2, however many balls he wants to. It's the consecutive shots for Chance at the table, which is the safety, which is the value of this. So he's looking again, trying to see if there's a way that he can hit the 1 ball. So there, he's going to move the ball up a little bit more. I think it's a, yeah, I'm going to go on ahead and head up and watch this shot here. This is not easy. Good hit. It was a very good hit. He hit it with just the right amount of touch of spin to keep that and hold it. Ryan, how are you doing today? Fantastic. Wonderful. So what have you been thinking about the match so far?
It's actually been a really good match. I like watching all the safeties played. There were a couple that were really good.
I think my favorite was actually Jeremiah's on the last, where he actually snookered in the cue ball on the rail and behind the 8-ball, which really made it just there was one way to shoot out, and Unfortunately, from that angle that he had a chance to get out, was not, you know, going to really make good contact with the ball.
I think even the match before that, he froze the cue ball to the 8 ball, you know, giving Chance the only one rail shot to the 5, which was hard.
Yeah. Well, here on this Friday, it is starting to kind of warm up here at Olhausen at Jerry O's. We got all the tables looking like they're in use right now. A long shot right here from Jeremiah. He's going to put himself, oh man, it's tough to see what he's going to try and do. Is he going to try and play the carom or the bank?
I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. This is a weird lineup. Oh, went for the carom.
Which was a good shot. It lent itself to good shape coming off, and you can see that, you know, that's not the hardest cut shot, but that 8 ball just needed to go down. Chance is on 2, so I mean, let's be honest here. It would have to be a bad shot really to come across, and Chance making a real nice shot on that 4. Here he comes up on the 5 ball. Looks fairly easy to get out. He just needs to miss that 9 ball coming around.
Yeah, I agree. A bump into the 9 could really make it difficult for the 6 ball. You also don't want to be too far down on the 6, or you lose your shot in the corner to have the easy 8.
Oh boy, it looks like he might have left himself a good enough shot to make it in the side pocket. And realistic, oh, he's going to go for the corner. The good thing about this is wherever he leaves it, he's going to have a shot on the 8. Oh.
Great shot in the corner. Lined up perfect for the 8, has a natural angle to come back down for the 9. This is really going to be a speed control shot here to leave himself straight in.
Now on these ones here, how do you deal with the rail? Do you go rail first or do you go rail after? And then are you looking to try and go to the left, right? What is your opinion?
I'm better at draw, so I do a low right and I don't go rail first. So I do the ball and rail and try to draw back 1 rail and end up on this side and the second diamond.
Looks like you tried to play it almost the same way that you were describing, but I think he put his own little personal touch on it, leaving himself you know, just a simple spot shot to try and get this one out and go back to 2 ahead.
Open table, he has the shot, and the cut is there for the win.
Right on. Well, good job for Chance there, taking back 2 on Jeremiah. Jeremiah's had a lead of 1 today, but we're watching this one here kind of seesaw back and forth. Let's see what happens in the next match.
I can change the scores. Right there. Okay, cool. And green's good to go.
Green's good to go.
All right, so I am stepping in to take over the final ending of this. Chance coming up with the win on the last one. Steps up to brink. Looks like we do have a ball down. I'm going to be getting a little situated here for a second. I was watching at home, so been a very good match so far. Lots of great safeties, great cuts, a couple jumps that I saw earlier that were very nice. Chance going with a push here. Now the player always has an opportunity to push out, doesn't have to make any contact with the ball, doesn't have to go anywhere. Sadly, with Chance's push into the 9, it just went on the wrong angle and resulted in a scratch. This will go into a ball in hand for Jeremiah. 1's pretty set up. Looks like the table's pretty set up right now. The only trouble ball I could see is the 5. It's open to go in the corner, but you do have the 9-8 blocking it from the other corner. So you do have to be pretty precise. Being where the 2 is and the 4 ball is, you really will get a nice setup for the 5 ball if you just roll those 2 both in the side and slow roll up to your 5. All right. Jeremiah on the 1 ball, ball in hand. Comes off 1 rail, trying to get position on the 2. I think he wanted a little more angle and to be a little more straight on the 2. With this, he still has the possibility of cutting it in the side, but now he has to come down table and come back up to have the shot on it for the 4. Alright, he actually played that with really good speed control, didn't get too far away on his angle for the 4. Simple middle ball stun shot, come off the rails, still leave yourself the 5. You don't want to be straight in because you do want an angle on your 6. Very open up table here. Traveled just a little farther than he wants. This is going to give him a real tight cut for the 5 ball to go in the opposite corner. Still a makeable shot, but now he has to worry about making sure not to bump into the 9 ball, come around, get around the 8 ball, and still have an angle to make the 6. If the cue ball if he can put the cue ball anywhere where it's at now, he'll still have the natural angle to make the 6 come off the rail and still be middle table for the 7, which will set up the 8, and the 8 is a natural setup for the 9. Sadly, the cue ball just went a little farther than he wanted, creating that extra angle for the cut, and it just wasn't there. He did have good position for the 6 if it was pocketed. I don't think Chance has a straight-in shot. I think he's going to have to cross-bank this into the 8 or off the 8. I don't believe it's a cuttable shot. Looked like he was online. The 5 ball kicked off like it was going to go straight into the 8. Sadly, double kissed into the cue ball. Just a little bit of a clutter, leaving Jeremiah a straight-in shot. This would be a good stop shot not to move the cue ball at all. Great shot. Leaves himself a natural angle just to pocket the 6 with the center ball, come off about 2 feet into the middle of the table and still have a little bit of angle on the 7. Being where the 8 is right now, you really want to position your cue ball where you're going to have the natural angle to come off the 8 to have the straight-in shot on the 9. You really don't want to have to make yourself too close to the side where you have a chance of scratching or have a chance of messing up. Great shot, great natural angle. I think right here I would go with a just straight stop shot. Leave myself that much of an angle. I wouldn't try to get too fancy, try to go 2 rails off the, back rail and come back off. If you do a stop shot here on the 7, you can naturally hit the 8, come right back off, and leave the cue ball about at that second diamond where the 7 is now, having your shot on the 9. Okay. Sometimes when you're down to the last couple, just the excitement of knowing it's that easy just gets you going, and you just jump a little bit and miss your shot. Chance with the long one on the 7. Same issue. Got a little double kiss where it's going to pump it towards the side. Jeremiah should have the natural angle here to cut it down in the side, float the cue ball down, maybe come off of the back rail just to give himself a little angle for the 8. If you look, he's switching between forward and draw. I mean, I would use a little bit more of a center ball shot, parallel angle, come down and hit the first diamond. Okay, put a little too much on it, making this a little farther of a shot. The problem that he's going to have here is he has to make sure he's on a good angle to come back off before the side and slow the cue ball to be on that rail where you have the shot on the 9. If he hits this too far, he's going to end up leaving himself in the middle of the table, setting up a bank shot either on the 9 in the side or a hard bank shot in a corner. Let's see what he's got. Alright, went rail first. The rail is really going to kill your speed. Hit the 8 ball, came off the second rail and died. Does have the angle for the 9 ball, not as straight in as I think he wanted. A lot of the times on these kind of shots, I don't try to use English, I don't try to use forward that, just middle ball, line it up, take your time, stroke it a couple times straight, and then go for the go. Oh, Jeremiah with a great shot, great follow. Make sure he doesn't scratch, takes the win, climbing closer to chances 8. Now Jeremiah with 7.
touch stuff and flip stuff and check. There you go.
Okay, we are back. We had an excellent shot by Jeremiah, hitting the 3 ball, sending the cue ball all the way down, getting it behind the 5. Chance looked like he's going to go with either a 1 or 2 rail attempt. 1, 2, goes around the 3, sadly with no contact, will result in a ball in hand. The way this rack is playing, you're going to have to do your 4 or 5 that. You can make the 3 and put the cue ball right where it's at now and have the shot for the 4 on the side, or do what Jeremiah's looking for. Look at the 4-9, because it's an easy with ball in hand to set up. They're both being respectful and telling each other that it is ball in hand, just saying how nice it is. Which is very nice, you know, it's always good. I think in pool you're not really playing your opponent, you're playing yourself. So when you do make the mistake of not hitting the object ball and it is a ball in hand, it should be your job to tell your opponent, even if they didn't see. All right, Jeremiah looking at now, what is he going to do with this 4 ball? Do you go ahead with the 3, do a little drawback, shoot the 4 on the side, do a stop shot, shoot the 5 down table, draw back to try to have the angle? It looks like Jeremiah's just going straight for a safety. I think he might try to send this down table, or he might try to cut it, you know, and put the cue ball right behind the 8. Let's see. Okay, shoots a 3 ball, great stroke, hits the cue, frozen again behind the 8 ball. I think the 8 ball has been his luck ball today. All right, Chance looking right here. You're kind of going to have to do a zigzag shot. You almost want to cut it with left English where it comes back and hits the window between the 6 and 7 and goes straight at the 3. If you put too much, you're going to hit the 7. If you don't put enough, it's going to cut way off and go into the 6, which just happened. Okay, so this is actually, I won't say anything. There we go. All right, Chance moving the balls, resulting in a forfeit. Jeremiah takes the win for 8. Tying it up. We have a tie match to 8, 3 more for the winner. Looks like it's Jeremiah's break. English and speed control are really hard to master. A lot of the times the more English you do and the more speed you control, it just jumps off the rail and really goes. It's better to work in increments where you're not using English, or just using your speed control, trying to go an inch at a time, an inch farther, an inch farther. Then you start using English and see how far you can really twist the ball, spin the ball, you know, 5 inches, 4 inches, a foot, 2 feet. And then to master both of them just takes forever. All right, Jeremiah with a good break here. Looks like the 8's going on track. Nope, bounce off, and it looks like the cue ball stops. Chance might be screwed here by the just where he's not going to be able to see the 1. Looks like the side ball joint is just cutting him off. Chance goes for a push and makes the 9 ball, which will result in a spot. Okay. On a push, you can, yet again, you can hit the cue ball into any other object ball. You can make any other object ball. Because the 9 ball was made, it is always spotted. A lot of the times an opponent will do this if the 9 is hanging in a pocket and there's no way that you have the combo opportunity. So you'll take the chance to make the 9, have it spotted, and cut out a 9 combination. All right, Jeremiah left with a good shot on the 1, good angle to come back on the 2. He's either going to have a real thin cut into the corner, which I don't think it goes, and I think the 6 blocks it off from the other corner. So you almost have to get on the far rail behind the 6-2 to have your long shot on the far corner down. Let's see if he can use English and spin off of this 1. Alright, made the 4 ball. Or made the 8 ball, sorry. Got a lucky kick off of the side. Gets good shape on the 1 ball. Same thing here. He's a little straight with the 1 ball. I don't think he's going to have enough stroke to be able to come off of the back table, come all the way around, hit between the 3-4 gap, and be able to see the 2. You might want to use a little left English stun and just try to get to the middle of the table where you have a chance to see the 2, bank the 2, or do a safe and leave the cue behind all the mess. Okay, Jeremiah was fortunate with the 1 going around the table and stopping without a line of sight. Chance is going to go 1 row with a kick at the 1. Just a little off, might have walked to the table a little too quick. This will result in a ball in hand by not making contact with the object ball on the 1. Alright, Jeremiah looking at the 1 ball here. Has a little bit of angle to draw back. I don't think he's going to be able to draw back to have a straight-in shot in the corner. Let's see what he's lined up for. Being at the commentator's seat, you don't have the correct angle of what they can really accomplish with the cue ball. Might have to come off the 4 row. He was actually able to draw back, miss the 9, and have a great shot on the 2 in the corner. I think this goes to the commentator's spot. Trying to get a plan on the 3. I think you want to go forward, go off of the back rail, and go between the 5-3 and set yourself up with the 3 in the corner. From where I'm sitting, it looks like it does go, but it could be blocked by the 5. Alright, lines up on the 2, gets it, goes between the 3, actually bumps the 5. I think he's going to get a better angle now in the 3 cross corner. Really got to take your time here, decide what you're going to do with the 4. There's a couple different options here. I don't really think the 4-9's a good option. It's set up more as a 4-9 bank. You would have to really do something crazy to get the 9 to cut in a back corner. I think I would do a stun shot here on the 3 and try to get the cue ball to go towards the opposite side and have the back shot in the 4 in the corner. By having that angle, a stop shot on the 4 gives you a shot on the 5, which a stop shot gives you a shot on the 6, setting up the 7 with a drawback for the 9 out. Lots of options on this rack. Alright, shooting the through ball. Gets a little love off of the 6, a little nicks it off. Comes just far enough to have a straight in shot in the side. Going to be able to follow through and still have shape on the 5 ball. Okay, he is jacked up over the 5. Taking his time, stroking it slow. Looks like he got the shot on the side of the 4. Going to be lined up a little off, so it's not a straight-in shot. Has a good natural angle, not to really have to use any English here. Can pocket of the 5 ball, hit off the rail, and have a good shot on the 6. This is always the time to plan ahead because of where the 6 ball is. There's a couple different options to draw back to have the longer shot on the 7. You can go 2 rails where you spin around, be on the far side of the 7. So there's a lot of things you can really accomplish with your position play here. And I think it'll go to player's preference. with the 5-ball shot. Nice shot, comes right off, real natural. No English needed. Still not a straight-in shot on the 6. So this is where it's going to go to player's preference. He could draw back with low left and still come back to the middle of the table, avoiding the side pocket scratch. He could go forward 2 rails, trying to come on the far side of the 9 and have the shot on the 7. I think that creates too much of a tight angle on your 7 shot, and then it leaves your cue ball on the far side of the table, where if you have the draw shot by drawing back now on the 6, you leave a better option for your 9 out. Right. Lining up with the low left draw, or low right, sorry. Had a great idea, had a great, thing, just kind of bobbled just a little bit, was a little hesitant on his stroke. The 6 bobbled in the pocket, wasn't straight in. He did get a good leave here. It did come back enough where I don't think Chance has the straight in shot. Too far of a jump really to get over the 9. Chance again goes for the 1 rail kick. Heasley took a little too much time. Wasn't able to clip the 6, resulting in a ball in hand. Alright, Jeremiah with ball in hand on the 6. Really wants to come off this rail, come back to the opposite side right before the side pocket. Coming this angle with that far to the side, you create a sharper angle that you have to cut for your 7, and you have to draw back, missing the opposite side to get a good 9 shot. If he was closer to the side pocket on the rail, it would have been a drawback on the 9, drawback on the 7, shooting the 9 in the cross corner. Okay. Jeremiah is a shorter stature individual, so this will be a stretch for him. Alright, lines up for the drawback on the 7, wants to make sure he puts enough on it not to scratch on the side. Coming back, avoids the side pocket greatly, has a good shot on the 9. A little bit of a cut here, not straight in, not a gimme, but great position play. Lining up to take the lead for 9. 1 more to get on the hill after that. Jeremiah takes his shot on the 9. And it's good, no rails. Jeremiah takes the win and the lead at 9-8. Sorry. Okay, Jeremiah coming back after a win, going for the break. If he can keep this momentum up with another win, that will put him on the hill for the match. Has a great break. 5-ball goes in the back corner pocket. Good spread. Looks like he has a shot on the 1-ball now. Does not look like he has a clear open pocket for the 2-ball. It is possible to do the 2-8 combo, which I think he's going to have to set up for. Really want to watch your speed to come between the 3-6 window and leave yourself a draw shot on the 2. Now he still was able to do this. He can do this two different ways by carrying them into the 8. I would have personally tried to draw more on that 1 ball to get between the 3-6 so I had an easier combo 2-8 ball. The straighter you get on the 2 ball, you could have sent it into the 8, leaving the 2 hovering in the pocket, which leaves you a good way to go around the table, or just leave the cue ball there for your long shot on the 3 and the opposite one. So now he either has a sharp cut into the 2-8 combo, or he could do a 2 middle ball and try to use the cue ball to carry him into the 8 and make it. The problem with this is you really don't know where the 2 ball's going to end up or the cue ball. Okay, lines up for the shot. Looks like he's doing the combo. Great shot. 2 ball stays right in the pocket, leaving him good. Cue ball came right around that 7, got real lucky there. If he would have bumped into the 7, I think he would have not had a clear sight of on the 2 ball. Goes for the bridge. Really want to make sure here that you're making contact with the back rail and the 2 ball at the same time. You're not trying to follow through, draw off, or go 2 rails off. A simple center ball shot making contact with the back rail and the 2 at the same time will naturally create the cue ball to go up the rail, hugging it towards the side pocket where the 3 ball is. Great shot. Put a little bit of spin on it. If you saw it just kind of hugged on those 2 rails. A little more neutral without that spin. I think it would have hugged that rail closer to the side pocket, given a little straighter shot on the 3. He has a shot on the 3. He needs to look at his angle. He would want the cue ball to be anywhere where it's at right now to still have the angle on the 4. Because of where the 7-9 is, he's going to leave himself a cut on the 4, no matter what, without getting on the far side of the 9-7. Great shot on the 3, avoids the cross side scratch. Has an angle on a 4 here. Gonna really have to take his time and decide how much draw and spin he's gonna want to use. He's gonna have to come off the back rail, side rail, and either decide if he's gonna shoot the 6 in the far corner or get on the far side of it and try to, where he's at now and shoot the 6 back down to set up an easier 7 shot. Lots of opportunities here. All right, Jeremiah going for the extension on his stick. Not going to use the bridge, going for the full reach. If you didn't feel comfortable here, there is a safety to hit the 4 ball, send the cue into the back rail, and hide it between the 9-7, leaving the 4 on the opposite rail with no line of sight. Which I think he was trying for right there and just missed. Sadly, this is going to leave the 4 ball with a good opportunity, a chance to cut into the side. Great shot. Comes off the rail. He's actually going to kiss the 6. This may help him. Now, because of the 6, he's actually on the wrong side of it now. To cut the 6 into the side ball, he's going to have to travel 3 rails to be on the right side to make this 7. Oh, goes for the bank and the easy drawback. He had great shape if it would have went. Left his opponent a harder shot as well. I think this is a cuttable shot down the rail with inside English and forward. Come off of that rail, slow it down, and have the shot on the 7 in the same pocket. Is it an easy shot? No. From the commentator table, I can't see if it's easy to back cut this into the side. I don't think it's possible. I think we're going to see a thin cut down to the corner. All right, Jeremiah lines up. Thinly cuts, looks good, goes off the rail, slow rolls, has great setup for the 7 in the same pocket. Because he's so close to the rail, he's on that opposite side of the 7 now. He doesn't have the natural cue path to set up the 9 in the opposite corner. So you almost want a little draw, but because you're so close to the rail, you're going to be jacked up. So this is one you got to watch. This is when you can actually use a little follow, come off the rail, and set up a 9-ball shot down table or in the side really easy. Goes to the player preference. Center ball, come off the rail, and shoot the 9 in the exact same pocket as well. Now it looks like he's about to do that. Just one rail. Lines up with the opposite pocket. A little bit of a cut here. Jeremiah stepping up for the cut on the 9. Oh no, just a little short. Just scratched off one rail and kind of held in the jaws. I think Chance is going to come up with an easy win. Make sure you don't hastily take your time. Make any mistakes. All right, Chance takes the win, tying it up, 9-9. We may go hill here. The excitement is through the roof. Let's see if Chance can pull one out and get to the hill first, or if Jeremiah is going to fight back and take another win. We'll see next. All right, Chance has a great break. Doesn't look like anything goes down. Doesn't look like there's a straight in shot on the 1 either. Looks like Jeremiah's either going to have to come up with a push. He might be able to see the 1 and nick it, but I don't think it's going to be a pocketable ball. There might be a cross corner bank or a push out. We'll see. Next player to win will result in a hill. This is coming down to the finals. Great shooting today here at Jerio's. We did have one of our guests here leave, so we have one open table if anyone wants to come on down and take it. Everything else is taken. It is the busy time today. Great weather outside. No other reason to be out and playing pool. Jeremiah goes for the safe, leaving a great shot, nicking the 1, leaving it behind the 8, giving Chance a 1-rail kick. Chance makes contact with the 1, resulting in a legal shot, but sadly resulting in the 1 going towards the corner pocket, leaving in an easy shot. Looks like Jeremiah was unable to reach, gonna have to pull out the extension bridge, all the tricks, everything he needs for the short person to get it in. Okay, really gonna want to have to play a speed here to come all the way back down table to have the 2-ball on the side, or corner, sorry. I was thinking of the next shot, the 3 coming up in the side. Went with a little too much angle. He might not get rewarded here. It looks like he got far enough. Almost got pinched by that 4-ball and didn't see the 2. Looks like there's a little enough a gap. He's going to be able to shoot the 2 with a little bit of forward and have a shot on the 3. Now, where does the 3 go? It looks like the only pocketable way from that position is going to be a 3-8 combo. If you can get the cue ball where you could do a 3 bank by the 9, I mean, it's possible to go on this side, but you'd have to be so far from the 7 that it's easier just to try for the 3-8. Or you could do a breakout right here. He does have the natural angle. Looked like Jeremiah was actually trying to draw back behind those two to leave himself a great shot on the 3. Great shot. He does have the back bank right now into the side pocket. A little forward left would do 2 rails and put the cue ball back into the middle of the table, leaving him a 4-ball shot. I think he's looking at a carom 3 into the 7, which is possible. You have to worry about this one because the 3 can really get hidden behind the 6 and just leave you with no shot whatsoever on it. Doesn't look like he has enough draw. Oh, Jeremiah, I think just trying to use the safe with balls, really going for speed control. We went about 2 inches too far, leaving Chance the shot. Very precise shot right there. Wasn't really room to draw back. I think a stop shot was needed and hope for the bank on the 4. Chance got a lucky break on the 3 going all the way around, tying up with the 8. It looks like it's tied up in a way that you can't do the crossover bank in the corner. I think you could do 1, 2, 3 rails and have it come to the corner closest to me where the rack is, but that'd be a little hard. I think a safety would be played here. Hit the 3 ball out of the way and then just leave it behind the 8. Jeremiah had a great idea, just didn't get enough oomph on that 3 ball and kicked far enough off the 8 that Chance can still see it. Great shot on the side. Has a long shot on the 4. I think right here I would go for the 4-9. It sounds crazy, but it's an easy enough one. If you make contact with the 9, it goes in the side. You don't have the 4 cut. Goes for the cut, was just a little off. Gonna leave his opponent a shot on the 4. Jeremiah here has to decide what he's going to do. Play this either slow roll and try to shoot the 5 down, or draw left, go 2 rails, and come back to behind the 9 where you can still see the 5 and shoot the 5 in the same pocket. Lots of choices here. You could do forward inside and just really thin cut this really slowly and just have it barely touch the back rail and still have that cut on the 5. Had a lot going on the shot. Sadly, just a little tense up before he went. If you looked at the angle he was going at on the bridge, it was really, really high and down, which is more of a poking shot. You really don't get your follow through or stroke that you want. Sometimes just resulting in an inch or 2 off and missing the ball. Chance went with a long 4-ball cut, a little thin, sadly scratched, resulting in Jeremiah in ball in hand. He's going to be able to make the 4-ball, have a good shot on the 5 down. He's really going to have to decide what he wants to do with the 6 ball. I would have wanted to be closer to the rail to follow the 5 and be in the middle of the table to shoot the 6 back. Lots of different options. He can follow behind the 9 ball, get on the far side of the table to shoot the 6 down, which it looks like he's doing. Great shot on the 5, far enough stroke. Has the cut angle on the 6. So right now with this rack, there is no trouble balls in the way. He could center ball the 6, come off the rails, still have the angle to cut the 7, stop all in the 7, have the 8. The 8 to the 9 is the only one you got to watch out for. You don't want to have a hard cut angle. You don't want to be trying to cut something really, really hard into the side. Just a simple long cut down to the corner closest to me would work. Just a little off on his cut on the 6. Had great position on the 7. This is going to leave a chance at a bank here. Come Comes back just a little off. Good speed control. Left the 6 at the middle of the table, leaving a hard shot for Jeremiah. Then try to bank it here. You could carry him into the 7, making the 7. You could carry him into the 8, or you could try to cut this, depending on the player's preference. Jeremiah goes for the cut. Comes around table. Good distance, but with the 6 ball leaving in the corner pocket, Chance has a shot. Middle ball to make it. Easily come off to the middle of the table. Easy stun shot on the 7. Really want to decide here what you're going to do with your 8-9 and where you want this cue ball. Good angle. I would have wanted to be about 6 inches more off the rail. Now being this forward, you can go forward 2 rails off, or you can draw back. I feel more forward with follow at this position. Chance lining up with the draw. Had great position, you know, kind of stunned it, but was just a little off on his cut where the 8 ball bobbled in the pocket. This is going to leave a long shot for Jeremiah. Now he can naturally shoot this 8 ball, come back around, and have the 9 in the corner or the 9 in the side. Both are makeable pockets for the 9 ball. All right, shooting for the 8. The cut is good. Comes off, good speed control, good bounce. He's going to have the longer inside cut on the 9 down table. This will put Jeremiah on the hill. Really want to take your time here, line up, smooth stroke, smooth is steady. All right, Jeremiah with a smooth stroke. Great follow through, made sure to avoid the scratch, putting himself on the hill. Chance still hanging by a thread, ready to come back, ready to win 2 games in a row and take this home. The opportunity is there. Coming down to the finals. Let's see who has what it takes to persevere. Okay, Jeremiah taking his time here on the hill. See if he can snap the 9 with authority. Establish dominance. Or if he's going to give a chance to come back to the table to have a chance to win, which he does. Sadly, nothing was pocketed. Chance can see the 1 ball. It does look like a pocketable ball in the cross side pocket, thin cut. Want to watch your follow through here. Great shot on the 1. Really the hard problem was getting position on the 2. Does look like you can see it. Looks like it'll have to be a crossover bank. Great shot. Speed control's looking good. The 2's going. Sees the window between the 5-7, straight in shot on the 3, position to the 4. He's going to really want to make sure he avoids the 7 ball. Pushes out for the window. Looks like he was able to push it straight and have the window for the 4 between the 5-7. Just a little off on the 4 ball. It's going to rattle in the jaws. He did have a shot on a 5, little far table. This will give Jeremiah a chance back at the table. The 6 ball is a pocketable ball in both corner pockets. It can be banked back, but definitely not going to be an easy pocketable ball. It is frozen to the rail almost. Can't tell from the commentator's seat. Jeremiah wants to take his time. All right, really going to want to watch the position on this 5 ball. 1-2 rails comes off. Now he has position on the 5 to make it, but the correct position to get on the 7 looks blocked by the 9 ball. So I don't see this getting on position onto the 6 without bumping the 9 ball. This goes to commentator seating. I can't tell if he could use forward inside, pocket the 5 and avoid the 9 completely, come off the back rail and have good position on the 6, which he was able to do. That was a tremendous shot. One nick on the 9 ball and that cue ball would have been nowhere close to where it is now. But now he's looking at a straight shot. What do you do here? Do you follow through all the way past the 8 where you have the angle on the 7, relying on the long shot? Do you do a stop shot where you just follow through right where the side pocket is and then try to bank the 7 cross corner? Both pocketable options, both open options, but nothing easy. Alright, Jeremiah looking like he's lining up with a little bit of follow. Look like he's going to try to go past the 8. Sadly on his cut, it just nicked the other side of the 6. Gets a lucky bounce and kicks into the opposite side. Wasn't what he wanted, but got what he wanted, which was another shot, leaving him with a long shot on the 7. Two things here you can do. You can do a middle ball shot to make sure you avoid the 9, any kind of drawback, and if you make contact with the 9, you can lose your line of sight on the 8. I think middle ball here and completely avoid the 9 and leave yourself even a little off on your long shot on the 8 would be a better option than tie up with this 9 ball. Okay, long shot on the 7. On the hill, Jeremiah put a little spin on it and just looked like it overspun and cut the inside rail. This is going to leave Chance a really good straightened shot. He's going to want to put a little either middle stun or he goes with a follow for the longer shot on the 8. Has the shot for the win. I think I would have tried a little draw and tried to keep the 8 in the side pocket, but there was always the opportunity to draw back into a scratch into the opposite side. Chance just a little off on his long cut, sending the 8 ball 3 rails. This is going to leave Jeremiah with a long, almost straightened shot on the 8. Being where the 9 is a pocketable ball on the side, so he could shoot this 8 with a little follow and just kind of naturally let it coast a foot. Being as far as it is, you really want to make sure your stroke's on. Anything off a millimeter on your stroke will just hit the 8 complete off and be 2 inches off by the time it reaches the pocket. So speed is really going to come into play here. All right, Jeremiah lining up. Just a little off, like I said, just that speed control. Everything looked good until they made contact, and that little 2 millimeters off sent that 8 ball 2 inches over. All right, Chance coming to the table, looking like there's an 8-9 combo, but it's going to be a tricky one. You really have to kind of spin the 9 in. Doesn't look like it can be made easy if it double kisses and goes in. Oh, Chance sends it, and the cue ball follows down with a scratch, sadly. This will result in ball in hand. Jeremiah looking now, it does look like the cue ball is going to, or the 9 ball is going to be frozen to the the pocket here. I mean, the shot that's really hard is you set yourself up with an 8 corner shot where you're going to draw and break out the 9. So you put the cue ball almost in the breaking position, not where he's at now, the opposite corner. He's looking at now if he can hit off or if he can cut it down. These are both possible. But any kind of miscalculation in your angle, your speed, if it just nicks the nipple or the corner of the side pocket, it'll jump completely off table. You really have to control your English. Where he's lining up right now, he's going to want to do a natural draw shot come back, and you want to speed control this where you either bump it and have a shot for the 9 in the side, or bump it and have the shot down table or cross corner table. You really just want to make contact with the 9. The problem here is not making contact with the 9, getting on the far side and trying to cut it down table in the corner where it's a scratch shot. Alright, Jeremiah lining up on the hill, could have the win here. A tricky last 2 shots for the out. Okay, took his time, decided that it is a possible cut shot down. From my angle, I can't tell if it's frozen and a shot in the side and has to be cut down, or if this can be floated, hit off of the nipple, and then slow rolled into the side. Both pocketable shots. Jeremiah does have an opportunity to close the deal here, take the win for the match. Lining up, taking his time. I don't see any English. I think he's going to try to cut it down table. Nope. Just nick the nipple. Goes around 2 rails. This is going to leave Chance a straightened shot in the opposite tie to go hill and take it to one more match. Chance needs to take his time here, make sure he gets the win, which he does. Ladies and gentlemen, it goes to hill. All right, welcome back. Chance with the break. Hill has an excellent break. Good spread. Looks like 1 ball went down. So the 5 ball was pocketed. He does have a shot on the 1 in the side. Could do a stop shot, leave the 2 ball in the down corner. This is an open rack. This could be a runnable table. Hastily, it looks like these little sides of the pocket are not helping anyone out today and just popping all the balls out. All right, Jeremiah with a shot on the 1. Doesn't look like there's a pocketed ball here. It looks like it could be comboed into the 6, sending the 6 to the corner. Karam the 1 off the 6, trying to make it in the opposite corner. Oh, I thought, never mind. Yeah. I think we're going to see a save here and then frozen behind the 6 ball. Nope. Still got a good line of sight. Doesn't look like Chance has the straight view. He's looking at it, going for the jump cue. Lining up for the jump. I think it's an easier kick to go between the 6-4, 1 rail on opposite, you know, by the side, and then hit the 1 ball. Chance with a great jump, making contact with the 1, sadly sending it into the corner pocket as a scratch. Going to result in ball in hand for Jeremiah. Looking over the 2, the 3 to the 4. Alright, Jeremiah gonna slow roll it here for the 2-ball. Make sure he's leaving him an angle on the shot on the 3. Play this a couple different ways. I think I would use forward and try to go past the 6-ball, leaving yourself an angle on the 4. The 4, I think, can be cut into the side. If not, you're going to be doing a bank into the side. From right here, I don't really see drawing back off of the 3-ball to have a shot to be able to cut the 4 into the corner. Just not sure if it's there. Alright, lining up with a little bit of forward, shoots the 3. Sadly, just a little off on his cut shot. Had the angle on the 4 where I think it would have been a pocketable ball on the side, leaving Chance a shot. Alright, Chance looking at his 4-ball. Just a simple draw back to leave the angle. Looks like this is a pocketable ball cut in the side. Okay, a little off. Not really good setup on the 6, just Alright, Jeremiah is looking at this 4-ball, but what he doesn't look at is the 9-ball is on the natural path too. So if he's trying to shoot this 4, he might just bump into the 9 and send it into the corner. Oh, just a little bit of bump. Got around it, which is good. Has a shot on the 6. Enough angle to go 2 rails and then just pop right back out where he's at now. No need to use English or anything. Open table. Really want to make sure he's going to have an angle on the 7 so he can get back on the 8-ball. Good shot. 1-2. Comes back off into the middle of the table. Has the shot on the 7. Has a good angle to cut the 7, come back 1 rail, and have a longer, triangle for the 8. Try to put the cue ball where his hand is now, or even where his face is, kind of on that row. Make sure he avoids the scratch. Oh, he went for way back. I think he put a little too much English on that to try to get the shape, just bobbling the 7. Sadly, it just went way far back with that 8-ball. Now didn't really have a natural path to get on the 9 either. So if it was his shot on the 8, he would have had to work to have that 9. Looks like Chance going to have to go with the carom. Going to have to watch his speed control here. You either want to slow roll this to set up the 7 for your next shot, or you want to hit it hard enough where the 7 is set up for your next shot down table. Just a little bit of bobble didn't go for him. Looks like Jeremiah's going to have a pretty good shot here. I think I would try to thin cut the 7, come off the back rail, and actually bump into the 8. The reason for that, if you can bump into the 8 and send it more to the middle table, you're going to make it an easier, have more pockets that the 8 will be able to be pocketed in. If you thin cut the 7 and don't make contact with the 8 and come back down, then you're left with your thin cut of the 8 in that one same pocket. Okay, Jeremiah setting up the bridge just to be jacked up over the rail. Alright, lining up. Let's see if he can either carom and bump into the 8 or carom around the 8 and have the shot in the same pocket. Really want to make sure you make contact with this 8 and not avoid it and just send the cue ball down table and leave a hard cut. A little off on his 7-ball cut. It was really trying to get around that 8. It left a great position play for the 8, but just wasn't able to pocket the 7. Chance coming to the table, he has 2 options. A bank, or he could have long cut it down the table and hoped for a 2-fer where he either would have made it and had position or made it and left a harder shot. Jeremiah coming to the table, he can see the 7. The 7 is a pocketable ball in the corner pocket. You could use middle ball, hit this hard enough to make sure that you follow through and either set yourself up in the same pocket for the 8 shot or hit off the rail hard enough to make the 8 in the opposite pocket, corner pocket. Let's see here. Looks like Jeremiah's going to set up to play the 8 in the same pocket. Lines up. Oh, great shot. All right, a little off on the 7, coming back. 2 rails, just went a little farther. He does have a bank here, it looks like. I would bank it right back at me where he's looking at. Try to go 2 rails and leave the 9-ball shot. Being on the hill, this is a very hard shot because you're really setting yourself up for the win. You could do a safe play here where you just slow roll, tap the 8, and try to freeze them both together where you're giving your opponent the kick. It's really going to go down to player preference here. Are you going to feel confident in your shot of banking, or are you going to feel confident in your speed roll of hooking your opponent? Looks like he's setting up. I don't see him lining up for a bank. I think we're going to see a safe here, but I have been known to be wrong. Okay. Sadly going for the thin cut, trying to leave the safe, and just was not thin enough to win, making no contact, resulting in ball in hand. Chance setting up a natural angle to cut the 8 ball, come back down, leave the 9 in the opposite corner. Really want to manage your speed control. Don't want to be too close to the 9 where you're kissing. Nice little table roll off to the middle. Chance not left with a straight one, but this is a makeable shot. Hill for the win. A little bit of a stretch. Chance going for his extension. Nice thing about a lot of Q-Techs, they do have the extension port already built in. You don't have to add that little nut screw or that. Some of us tall people don't need it, but you never know. All right, chance for the win. Hill. Match to 11, and the shot is good. All right, what a great match here. So, shout out to our sponsors, XLR8 Tournaments. If you ever guys want to do a showdown match, make sure to get together with them. Shout out to Chance, our winner.